Breaking news, Zepbound weight loss, everything you need to know about Eli Lilly's new Lillydirect. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I got my co-host here, Mr. Freddie. I have been on Mounjaro now for almost a full year. I'm rounding in the next week or so, a full year of being on Mounjaro, having lost 74 pounds, woo, from Mounjaro weight loss. And today we're gonna talk about Zepbound and what's going on with Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro, and Zepbound. If you are on Mounjaro or Zepbound, they are the same thing. They just have different FDA approvals for them, but it's the same thing, same dosage, 2.5 milligrams all the way up to 15 milligrams for Mounjaro and Zepbound. But today I want to share with you some breaking news. I'm going to break it down for you here at Countess of Shopping, so make sure you smash that subscribe button. So Eli Lilly just announced that they have a new part of their company called Lillydirect. This is huge. If you don't know what this means, my mind is blown. Literally, when I saw this, my mouth was open. My husband, the count, was like, close your mouth, Elizabeth, because it's going to revolutionize, in my humble opinion. And by the way, this is all my opinion. My experience, strength, and hope. I am not a healthcare provider, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet. So simply my opinion, but it is going to revolutionize pharmaceuticals as we know them. To buy directly now, it eliminates the middleman of having a telehealth company and essentially going to a pharmacy store or a pharmacy building. If you saw Weight Watchers, who has joined the telehealth by merging with Sequence, their stock dropped yesterday 11% as of the filming date, and you can see the filming date down in the description link below. Now, if you just started your Mounjaro weight loss journey, your Zepbound weight loss journey, I want you to know a couple of things. We've got here, oh, the Duke just came up even though I'm filming. You need to go back downstairs, baby. I need to go back downstairs while I film this video, because I will get distracted with ADD, as will Mr. Freddie. So with this, with Eli Lillydirect, it's basically, you can go to Lillydirect, and I have a blog post down below. It's on countessofshopping.com. That is your news source for all things Mounjaro, WEGOVY, Zepbound, all of them. And so I have an article listed down below in addition to this, but there's three prescriptions, or not prescriptions, but three categories that this new Lillydirect from Eli Lilly is gonna have. You can get your telehealth visits with their provider. Now, my first thought when I saw this with Lillydirect, I was like, oh, they're gonna make a ton of money off of having patients go directly to their telehealth portal with it. On Eli Lilly's site, I pulled it up because I wanted to see, okay, what's the compensation then for Eli Lilly for farming out these leads, patients, so to speak, to the telehealth companies? What is the compensation plan on that? Eli Lilly, Lillydirect, this new company says, Lillydirect says, we seek to provide patients more choice in finding healthcare for them, which is true. This is amazing. I mean, in terms of patient to getting the actual Zepbound. Now, Lillydirect, by the way, does not have Mounjaro listed as its medications. It's got three classifications: obesity, migraines, and diabetes. Mounjaro is not on the diabetes section yet. I'm a little bit confused as to why, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's, in my opinion, I'm sure it's coming. It says the independent telehealth service providers found on Lillydirect could complement your primary care team. So if you're working with your primary care doctor, this could complement that, or be an alternative for in-care person for certain situations. Eli Lilly is not receiving any compensation from these third-party service providers for referrals. That was my immediate first question, was let's talk about money. So they're saying they're not getting money from it, and that the third-party service provider are not incentivized by Lilly to promote Lilly products. So Eli Lilly's products, which are for diabetes, Mounjaro, but it's also prescribed off-label for weight loss. But now that there's Zepbound approval, Zepbound is Mounjaro, but for FDA approval for chronic obesity management. So it has in there, Lilly evaluates potential healthcare vendors, giving them certain criteria for quality of care. The new telehealth vendors are selected options for Lillydirect, and we'll add them to the website. Sign up for email to learn more about it. So in my article link down below, my question was, okay, I live in rural Virginia. What would this cost? What does this look like for an in-person appointment, which I thought was really interesting that this is an in-person option in addition to telehealth option. Some of the in-person options for me here in rural Virginia and you can go to my blog post down below and see more about this for your specific neck of the woods, your area. But for me, it was gynecologists that I could go to talk more about chronic obesity management or type 2 diabetes. I found that interesting that someone they were delivering babies and doing gynecological things were also in charge of chronic obesity management or type 2 diabetes. I found that interesting. It wasn't their specialty. I also found in my area there was a large list of in-person places I could go, was a bariatric doctor, meaning they do bariatric surgery, but they are now going to be prescribing these medications, which I think is going to be very interesting with the whole bariatric field. What is going to happen with these weight loss surgeries in lieu of having these GLP-1s receptor antagonists? What's going to happen with those? And I think we're going to talk about that on another video, so make sure you click that subscribe button and that like button too. And by the way, if you haven't joined my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, all are welcome at that table. Just make sure you answer all the questions. It's linked down below in the description. That private Facebook group has people on Zepbound weight loss, Mounjaro weight loss, Mounjaro type 2 diabetics, WEGOVY people, Ozempic people, semaglutide compounds, tirzepatide compounds. But this linkage, it's bridging the gap between being able to have direct access to consumers. Why I find this completely fascinating is this is the first of many dominoes, in my humble opinion. If you think 5 steps ahead, which I typically do, let's play chess and not checkers, thinking ahead, other pharmaceutical companies are going to follow suit. They're going to want a piece of this pie. And Eli Lilly is saying they're not receiving additional compensation for meeting directly with the consumer, but having the direct consumer information, medical history, all this stuff gives them a wealth of information. In a day and age of having information, that is huge. In addition, will this change? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, if someone has high blood pressure, for example, going directly to whoever the high blood pressure pharmaceutical is, or if you're having cancer treatments, going directly to the cancer treatment. And I'm just throwing these out as hypothetical things because I find it interesting of where telehealth medicine is going, where pharmaceutical companies are going, and even in-person doctors are now listed on this Lillydirect and it was 3 categories. I've only been talking about chronic obesity management, but more so with diabetes and with migraines. The other thing that they had on their website for migraines is I did not see Mounjaro listed. These as of today's date, and you can see down below the airing date of today to see the most, information changes obviously. So make sure you're clicking subscribe so you can see my latest updated videos on this. But the ones, and I'm gonna butcher some of these medications, Basilinger, Emalcti, Humanilog, and then a bunch of variations of Humanilog Junior, I guess that's for kids, Humanilin, Humanilin R, Lymjev, Rezovogler, and then Zepbound, which is the tirzepatide injection. I'm not seeing on there any other linkage. It also has the links to savings cards through these. That is fascinating. So with having this direct thing, I'm curious as a businesswoman, I've owned several multi-million-dollar companies, that's gonna, I think, lower pharmaceutical prices because it's knocking out a lot of these costs. It's knocking out a lot of the costs if you're going directly to these things. This is fascinating to me. It's mind-blowing to me. But a couple of other things that I think are important to note is that you can work with your primary care doctor. So it said it can be like in addition to your primary care team, and then use direct to pharmacy with them, with their pharmacies. And so they also have not only the telehealth that they're farming things out to, but specific pharmacies to you, which I find really, really interesting. Like super, super fascinating on this. Let's go back over to some of the most asked questions on Lillydirect. And if you're on Mounjaro weight loss or Zepbound weight loss, make sure in the description you get my weight loss success checklist. I have a huge blog, countessofshopping.com, with 50 plus articles all about GLP-1 receptor antagonists, about my experience, strength, and hope, because again, I'm not a healthcare provider, simply just my opinion of having lost 74 pounds on my 100-pound weight loss journey. So it's talking in here about the medicines. There's right now the 3 categories to get those medicines, and the specific ones I referenced, I'll link those all down below. But what data, because that was what I was mentioning earlier about this data, they're getting a ton of information, a ton of data. What data, if any, do independent health services share with Lilly? That was my other question. The money and the information, because information leads to money, is to help improve Lilly customer service. Lilly may receive de-identified data at an aggregate level from the third-party telehealth service provider. So they are getting data. They have a privacy statement and terms of service, which you can go through and read, which I'm sure with those terms of service, they're getting information. It may not have your specific name, but collectively that bulk of information is going to dictate a lot of things. What products they dive into. I mean, when you have information, you have power. And so with this, they're not giving it's de-identified. So it's not saying, oh, the Countess of Shopping who lives at X, Y, and Z in rural Virginia and her phone number and all of this information, but it's collectively me as like Jane Doe essentially, with that information collectively in a big pool with thousands and thousands and potentially millions and millions. I'm sure it will be millions of people with it. So the cost, what's the cost? So the cost inherently varies with the telehealth appointments and payment options with the specific telehealth provider. So they're essentially independent contractors with them. We used to own one of the largest dog walking companies in the nation, and at one point we had independent contractors, and then Virginia State Employment Commission will knock you out at the knees, and we had to switch all over to employees. And so having had both independent contractors and employees, these are all independent contractors. They are not employees of Eli Lilly or Lillydirect. They recommend visiting each telehealth provider's website or contacting them directly for more information. The cost of the information, the cost is separate, which we know for telehealth, you're always paying a separate rate, different than, that's just the way it is in telehealth. You pay a rate for the doctor or healthcare provider. You don't have to be a doctor to prescribe these medications. You can be a physician's assistant, a nurse practitioner. There's another one I'm missing. It's not nurse practitioner. I just screwed that up. Rewind. It's not just a doctor though, is the point that I'm trying to make. Forgive me on that. I'll link, I will link down below in my Eli Lilly article about Lillydirect more about this. Look at Mr. Freddy. He's so fascinated with this information on there. The cost of the medication is not included in their prescription. You can go through there and make independent medical judgment of the telehealth provider team. Treatment decisions and prescribing are based upon the independent medical judgment of the telehealth provider's care team. They prescribe medication or, of course, another treatment. And then so it goes through and there's forms to fill out, and then the pharmacy services. This is where it's fascinating to me. So Lillydirect is a new pharmacy experience. Accredited pharmacy service providers will provide personalized access to streamlined pharmacy experience within a cumbersome and fractured environment. They're licensing pharmacy, offering Lillydirect a range of pharmacy services like electronic benefit verification, manufacturer savings support. So that savings card, they're going to help with the savings card support on there and prescription routing. Ordering online, claim education, payment processing, shipping, and their ecosystem will evolve. So this is huge. This to me is, you guys know I was on Amazon Live for many years. I've stopped working with Amazon Live because that was a train wreck, but I love Amazon Influencer Program. I'm obsessed with Amazon Influencer Program and love Amazon. So Amazon collectively as a whole, they're a big biosphere. And so with that biosphere, this to me, Lillydirect, is very much akin to how Amazon has taken on so many things. They started off with books, and now it's clothes, and it's food delivery, and it's pretty much everything under the sun. They've even gotten into telehealth medicine, which I find interesting. But then now with Eli Lilly, it's gobbling up these other related things to not just pharmaceutical drugs. Now it's being able to talk to a healthcare provider to get the pharmaceutical drugs. It's the shipping of the medication with it too. So operationally around that is fascinating to me. Fascinating. So you're gonna get a text message or an email as part of your personalized system to confirm receipt of prescription, and then your next steps with that. So they have a whole operational system with this called from True Pill, and True Pill, which is under the Lillydirect, provides an array of pharmacy services. That's where you can do the online ordering, payment processing, shipping notification, refill reminders, prescription renewals, all of that. So, my friends, we are in a day and age of where literally a year ago, 52 weeks ago, we did not have this level of what's happening right now. It blows my mind truly. it is a gift. There's also a blessing and a curse with this, but it's definitely a gift in terms of what's happening for chronic obesity management and for type 2 diabetics, and then also for migraine sufferers too. That's the third category with this, but I'm not really focused. That's not my focus in today's video. I find this fascinating of what this means for you as a consumer, as a patient, for your health. And at the bottom line for all of what I talk about here for Mounjaro weight loss, Zepbound weight loss, WEGOVY, so Novo Nordisk is WEGOVY manufacturer and Ozempic manufacturer. I'm sure when this announcement came out, they are shaking in their boots, or maybe they have their own akin to Lillydirect of their own direct telehealth and delivery of medications and their own accredited pharmacy deliveries of these. I don't know, we're gonna have to see. Like, this is what I'm saying of how it's rocking the boat so much. This is revolutionary because other people for heart-related disease or skin-related disease, like all of these different diseases that pharmacies are related to, it's changing things. Even for migraines, I don't know what the competitor of Eli Lilly's migraine medication is, but that also, I mean, for type 2 diabetics, this is amazing in a way, but also my biggest questions were the money component and the information component. Because with information, you can do a lot of stuff. And Eli Lilly is addressing these with their terms of service, their privacy statements. And so the questions, those were my biggest questions. They're not receiving additional compensation with it, but they're having the information as not identified. So that, you got to read between the lines on these, which I hope everybody is. But I find this, I'm just here to share the information with you and some of my own opinions and thoughts. Feel free to take or leave those as well. But I do think that this is incredible because it's changing the way healthcare is provided, how we get the delivery of our healthcare, medications, and where it was very fractured. And it said in there, it's a fractured ecosystem. If you saw my last video, literally my last video, or maybe a couple of videos back, of where I was talking about the Mounjaro shortage and driving around for 3 hours for time I don't have, having a family member in the hospital and trying to run a household and literally like take care of Mr. Freddie, run my businesses, be a good mom, and all these things. 3 hours out of my day, I don't have that to drive around to get my medication, but I had to in order to get my medication, to get my Mounjaro pens. This eliminates that, right? And I find a better customer experience and a better patient experience too. Because at the end of the day, all of this, Mounjaro, Zepbound, is a lifestyle change. It is but a tool to provide a lifestyle change for all of us. And for me, I am grabbing so hard to make these lifestyle changes for my A1C and also for my chronic obesity management as well, for both managing those. What a gift. What a gift that is. I mean, but have to have the lifestyle changes to go with it too. So I will link down below my article. In addition, I will link down below my Mounjaro weight loss success checklist and my encouragement group. The thing that I don't see on there that I do think that Weight Watchers has, their stock dropped to 11%, but I do think, and I have a free group, is the encouragement of going along with chronic obesity management is there has to be, in my humble opinion, a level of daily connection to make those lifestyle changes. If you read Atomic Habits, or it takes 21 days to make a habit, per Stephen Covey, like making these habits and making these lifestyle changes take back-end support with it. For me personally, fully throwing that out there, I had deep-seated things that I needed to work with, and I say this on a lot of my videos to hopefully provide encouragement, strength, and hope of that very successful in most areas of my life, my career running multi-million-dollar businesses, as a wife, as a mom, those are my most important titles, but could not handle the juggernaut of chronic obesity management and being so unsuccessful, even though I was trying so hard, to be able to have a tool now that has changed my A1C, that has changed the scale to literally lose 74 pounds, having back-end support of having a therapist, because one doesn't get 100 plus pounds overweight without having some issues that need to be resolved and healed. And for me, that took working with a therapist as part of my primary care team, in addition to telehealth, in addition to pharmaceutical services, in addition to all those things, are really working through so I can make these permanent lifestyle changes, that this is not just a flash in the pan that I'm gonna regain the weight later. And we've talked also in my free encouragement group too, and here on YouTube as well, about maintenance plan. What does maintenance plan look like? Now, my husband and I have also talked about this too. There's not been a peep, in my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, about research going into getting off these medications. It's always been posed to me that this was a lifelong medication. That was the framework in which I was prescribed this medication to start with, is I probably will never go off of it, but who knows? But I have not seen any studies, to my knowledge, and please correct me if I'm wrong, like I'm welcome and open to it in the comments, of how to get off these medications. There's just more of a biosphere of being on these, but in my eyes, again, I'm giving you both points of view on this, of the brain changes in which it's made. I couldn't imagine not being on it, to have that with literally the reaction that goes on my body after taking Mounjaro. Now on Mounjaro 15 milligrams. So, and we'll discuss this more in my free encouragement group. So in the free encouragement group, there is going to be a link about today's video. We'll go more into a deep dive. We can definitely talk about it here, of course, on YouTube, but sometimes people like to get vulnerable and personable. That is a private group. No one can see your comments outside of the private group. And I guard, like 50% of people that apply to be in that group are declined because they look like potential spammers. I am very cognizant of not having spammers or any of that. So make sure you fill out all those questions, which is linked down below in the description link. Excuse me. If you'd like to be a part of that free group, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in that group to help make these permanent lifestyle changes. This is not a flash in the pan. This is a permanent lifestyle change, whether you stay on this medication for years to come or if you have intentions to get off. But I do think having support, I know having support to make these lifestyle things, for me, that group has been a lifeline. I would not have lost 74 pounds without having a community of loving, kind people who are going through the exact same thing to give their experience, strength, and hope with it too. And I guard that group like a hawk, like I'm a mama bear. I want to make sure it's a really high quality experience for everybody. If you've not gotten my free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist, that's also for WEGOVY folks and Zepbound. I say Mounjaro, but it's for all GLP-1 folks because it's essentially, of course, there's differences between the Novo Nordisk WEGOVY versus Eli Lilly's Zepbound and Eli Lilly Mounjaro, but similar concepts on there too, of like gastrointestinal side effects and like certain things to go with that as well. I find this fascinating. So this is the beginning and the tip of the iceberg of the conversation for Zepbound weight loss, Mounjaro weight loss, and what's to come. What will happen with Novo Nordisk's WEGOVY? Will they be doing the same thing? I don't know. I think Eli Lilly with Lillydirect is very far ahead of the game and has been pushing the envelope and revolutionizing GLP-1 medications, even though they've been around for a while, but revolutionizing chronic obesity management. It's literally this past year has been crazy in a beautiful and amazing way. So my sweet friends, we do a special thing here at Countess of Shopping where I give you an emoji. It tells me that you've watched this far in the video. If you've made it this far, it's for me to get to know you. Also, if you comment down below, our emoji today is going to be a pen. If you comment down below a pen emoji, I will pause and pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, then I will uplift you in positive thoughts. Either way, I take a moment for each comment I may not respond to every comment, but I do see every comment. I will pause and I sincerely, this community, even though there's thousands and thousands of counts and countesses in the Countess of Shopping community, I care and I want to get to know you. And over the past year, knowing thousands of people who are on the same journey as myself to encourage and uplift and give experience, strength, and hope, what a gift. So put down below the pen if you've made it this far in the video. And also here at Countess of Shopping, we are not just a talking group, we are also an action group because we are making permanent lifestyle change. Tell me down below in the comments, what are you doing today to move you closer to your health goals? What is that? For me, it's gonna be drinking my water and focusing in on that. When I focus in on water, it helps me discern, am I really hungry or for nutrition, or is it just because I'm bored or excited or whatever? Focusing on water because that helps me get in tune with that, and then also walking Mr. Freddy. We've already had 1 mile walk. He's a little baby. He hasn't even woken up yet. Sometimes if you guys have seen in other videos, one video he farted in my face. It was so disgusting. He's a character. So make sure you click that subscribe button so you can see the other videos. He's now officially my co-host, and he is getting, he's on retainer as well for his hosting services. And make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos. It will favor here on YouTube my videos for you. If you do click subscribe and like, it will show you more of my stuff here on YouTube if you want to see more. And clearly, if you've made it this far in the video, you'll want to see more because I've got a ton of videos coming out of some really exciting, cool things. So my sweet friends, that is all I know. I do work personally with a telehealth company that I am obsessed with. I will link down below Their information, and my humble opinion, having worked with them, it's who I get my Mounjaro prescription through with their healthcare providers. I absolutely love it. It's a startup company and they truly care about chronic obesity management. I'll link that article down below, as well as my article on Lillydirect, the new Eli Lilly huge wing coming out of there for telehealth medicine and pharmacy delivery and in-person treatment and care. So for migraines, chronic obesity management, and type 2 diabetes. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Say bye, Mr. Freddy. He said goodbye in his own way. Bye, friends. See you next time.